except for the person we invited from Plum Creek Timber Company to represent their side of the story.
And so I looked the last couple of days at the timber up here on the mountain, and I looked at Miller Creek, came in from several ends, and walked a stretch of it. And then this morning I went down, I saw the Nazarene Meeting Hall down below, I saw the community buildings, I saw the houses on the hillside. Not good. Not good. The only thing that will help is not logging in Miller Creek. That's the only thing that will help. And that's what I came to tell you tonight. Don't let them log that hillside.
This mountain up here, you would not treat it like Plum Creek would treat it. Then it would be private land. And you as an individual with your own humanity would be responsible to your neighbors to treat it in a neighborly way. But when a corporation that is not a person, it's a board of directors that has as its rules maximization of corporate profits. It's shareholders that live all around the world, never heard of Watch Mountain, don't want to hear about Watch Mountain. They want profit, they want earnings. And when it's corporate land, there is no one responsible because you can't put a corporation into jail.
There are people all over the West who are facing the same problem that this community has. And I think that if the town of Randall decides that they're going to stand up and try to keep Watch Mountain in public ownership, to try to keep Fossil Creek in public ownership, and not trade this land away to Plum Creek, there are people all over the West that will stand up and support you in that.
Now from what I've heard from the folks in this town, from what I've heard in just a little chatter outside this meeting, from what I've seen from the quotes in the newspaper and the television, I can tell you Plum Creek is not going to cut Watch Mountain.
And Francis says, let's vote. If you want to see Watch Mountain saved, raise your hand. And almost every single person in the room raises their hand. And it's just, people are grinning and you can see them, they're so happy, and it's the first time publicly that they got to acknowledge to one another that, yeah, this is an okay thing. This isn't just some crazy idea. We're going to save our town.
When did our Forest Service stop being an advocate of our natural resources and become an instrument to sell and trade away our forests? I think that's unconscionable. And I know that you're a victim like the rest of us of legislation, but that's legislation that needs to be changed.
The whole world has just been wrecked because of people wanting lumber, and I don't think it's fair to sell out to them and spoil all the water and kill all the fish and everything else.
It is really shameful that we have destructed this country in less than one lifetime.
I'm not against logging. I'm not a person that says no, we can't log nothing, because it's timber a renewable resource, as far as I'm concerned, and there's places you can log that it's reasonable. It's not that I want to stop the logging. It's just places like that where it's endangering people right over their homes, and like this, them places should be left. I think there's enough timber to log. If we haven't got enough to log, it's about time to quit, I guess.
I think that our old growth ought to be protected from any company, I don't care how big they are.
We're living in an environment worldwide that we're fast destroying, and we need these trees. If we're going to survive as a species, we have got to have oxygen, we've got to have water. You take down these trees and there's nothing left. Yes, we need timber, but let's plant trees and harvest them like you do other crops, and let's leave these old trees that are hundreds of years old that are irreplaceable where they are.
Old growth is an element of our natural heritage, and it has too much scientific, historic, and cultural value to be simply clear-cut. And since so little remains, and since it has such tremendous value, it's really just common sense to stop the old growth logging.
It's kind of rough right now for logging because of a lot of the environmental things that they put on us, but a lot of it was our own fault because we never did things like we should have done years ago, so now we're paying the price for it.
Loggers aren't all bad. Some people might think that, but well, we need to build houses out of something until they can make something that's affordable for everybody. They gotta build a house out of something, toilet paper, everything.
If newcomers are going to come be part of the land, I just wish they'd just quit changing it and just leave it alone and learn to live with it. That, to me, that's what happened. To me, people came in and said, my God, this is wild, we have to change it.
I heard a great story yesterday from a Cowlitz native, and this forest means a lot to his people. You know, I can share in that feeling that, yes, you know, the forest grows roots and the roots stretches out to all these people, and that touched me. That really touched me. We're all interconnected.
The thing I like about traverse lines is it shows how connected everything is and how dependent we are on everything. So like if this tree broke, you know, or fell over or whatever, we'd be fucked. If that tree did the same thing, we'd be screwed. And so like a tree village just kind of shows the interconnectedness of life in general and the reason why we can't cut these areas, because they're vital to everything.
There was this hummingbird that would come every day and he would fly down, and at first he would just come in and then he would fly off because he got scared, but then like more and more every day he would get like more courage to come near me, and then like he would just come right up to me and just flutter in front of me for a long time, and then he would take off again, like, and it was really great that he just became more and more used to me being up there, and that I think he realized why we were up there. And I think that's the biggest thing that my experience was, is feeling the power of the trees. And that's so hippie for me to say, but it's so true. Like, it's somehow I felt safe up there, even though I was 200 feet in the air. I felt like I was protected by the forest. And I don't know how to explain it unless you go and experience it yourself.
If you've never experienced it, it's almost impossible to describe the sense of peace that one gets when they go into an area that is truly old growth, where the natives have actually lived, made their way, and done what is normal for them.
Well, this is just about the most beautiful place I've been in years. Really, really beautiful. And I think it takes one sick puppy to mow all this down.
Fossil Creek is simply one of a number of old-growth stands on the Gifford Pinchot that are threatened by logging. As you know, estimates range between 80 and 90% of the old-growth forests have been converted or destroyed. So we're talking about the last 10% or so of what was once a vast landscape of old growth that remains.
We have such a deficit of ancient forests left in the state of Washington that we need to protect all of it, whether it's in Fossil Creek here or at I-90. All of it should be protected.
I think that anybody
to western Hemloss.
with any heart and any sense who came out here and saw this would feel like I do, like we all do, that there's just no way we can let it get sacrificed. It's too important, it's too beautiful, and there's just not enough left of it to play around.
But I mean, it's reinforced.
So that's why we're here. That's why we're staying.
That's what the forest space is.
Major companies, major corporations, governments, powers, whoever you want to call them, come in and they count on the fact that the people are going to be lethargic. The people are going to say, gee, this is wrong, but I can't do anything about it. Isn't this too bad? But I guess we have to take it because it's a major company, a major corporation, it's the government. That is not true. There's a tremendous amount of power in the collective efforts of communities, of peoples, of environmental groups, of whatever.
We've got a real mess on our hands. The little guy fighting against the big one, but we don't give up. They underestimated the spirit of the people of Lewis County.